Okay, it is. You want to do the time and date and everything, Yahe?
You can go ahead and do it.
Okay, so today is February 18th, 2021. It is 6:19 p.m. There's a quorum of the Executive Board of Community Board 11, for which this meeting is tonight. I will share. Do you want me to share the agenda, Yahe? Or do you want?
Share the minutes, because we'll just
Yes.
go over the minutes real quick.
Yeah, that's definitely important. Bear with me. So, can everybody see that?
Yeah, I can zoom in.
I can make it zoom.
Oh, that's it? Those are the minutes?
Yeah, they should be even simpler than this. Discussion took place regarding board member absences.
Roxanne
Member
has joined the meeting. Roxanne
member.
has left the meeting.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I can make it like the agenda was. I mean, I don't know. This is what I got from that. This is what I got from Al. He did the minutes. So I can make it look a little bit nicer if you want.
Motion.
Sorry, you were breaking up, yeah.
Any volunteers? I was looking for volunteers to take tonight's meeting.
Sorry, Yahe, but because I'm leaving, somebody else will have to take him. I'm kind of weaning off.
I'll take him, Yahe. Just let me get a notebook real quick.
All right, thank you. I'm at a place, if I move the phone to my desk to start writing, I'll lose reception.
No problem. I have a notebook now, so I'm ready.
All right, so motion to approve January 21st minutes from last month. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ferrano. Any abstentions or anyone against? All right, minutes passes unanimously.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
and looking at the second item on the agenda was removal, consideration of a board member or board members. And I think this is all in regards to attendance issues. So Jeremy has already sent a couple of official emails, and I think you were working on sending return receipt mail. Is that correct, Jeremy?
Yeah, so I can, because it doesn't show email addresses, well, actually it does for a couple. I could bring it up, or no, probably not. I probably shouldn't. But why don't I just say the gist of what it says? So I sent out 2 emails so far. The problem with our bylaws is that email is not good enough. It has to be done certified mail. Unfortunately, I had a printing problem. So I sent emails out end of day on Friday. I was going to mail them out on Saturday. I didn't get a chance to do that because the printer I had was not working. So, so we just, Al, Yahe and I discussed this on Tuesday. We were closed Monday. So we can send it out again. But in the meantime, we had on the chopping block, so to speak, for attendance issues, Mr. Joseph Schensler resigned. Mark Jonite did speak to him and got his resignation. And Melanie LaHose. I have spoken to her a while ago, and I told her, basically gave her a heads up that this would be coming. I sent her an email. I texted her to see if she got it. She didn't respond. But it says, it's the kind of a format I created about how many meetings they've missed, and more pointedly, what we're really looking at, which is basically this past fall attendance, and that they can be removed from the committee board for cause by a majority of members. So, and then I sent them out. Go ahead.
When do we vote on that?
Well, we would normally vote on it next week, but because I didn't do this, I was not able to send up certified mail. I don't think we should do that. I mean, I also have spoken to the bylaws chairman about amending our bylaws that certified mail is kind of like the last resort, because, so I sent out an email to Melanie LaHose and Vincent Prezioso, and he called me on Monday that he would send in his resignation.
So we only sent it to 2 members of the board?
I've only sent it to 2 members of the board so far. We have at least 2, maybe 3 others that could receive an email or a notice at this point.
Okay, and why didn't we send?
But if you have a relationship with any of these people, you could speak to them about, if they're not going to stay on, doing the right thing, which is the conversation I had with Mr. Prezioso. He has no intentions on staying on. He thought he was already off of the board. Remember, he's had issues that have kind of kept him away. He has legitimate issues. So I don't fault him necessarily for not realizing he's no longer on the board. But he said he would send in a resignation letter. So if you have a relationship with any of these other people that we discussed last month, that's probably the easier route. Like I said, Mr. Jones, I did speak to Mr. Schensler, and he did send in his resignation. And once it's in writing, it's immediate.
So I think we had 5 people that we needed to send warnings to, right?
So Janice Walcott is one. Janice Walcott, John Scuteri, and I have to look for who the other one was. Hold on. Sorry, I'm typing out loud. Marnie Rodriguez, Silvio Mazzella. Those are the ones that could be removed based on our current bylaws.
Okay, and you haven't, you didn't get a
You want me
chance
to
to
share
send them an
this?
email?
What's that?
You didn't get a chance to send them an email?
Oh, I will. I started with the most egregious. I actually started drafting an email for Mr. Schensler. But once I got his resignation, I just moved on to Mr. Prezioso and Ms. LaHose.
All right, so I guess next week you can send the rest an email along with the certified letters. And then since we can't vote on it this month, we'll just vote on it next month.
Yeah, why don't I just share real quick email I have. Hold on. Can everybody see that? Is that zoomed in enough, or do you need me to zoom in?
We can zoom in.
So those are the people.
All
So
right, so we got 6 people on the list. So you said 2 have resigned, right?
no, Mr. Schensler here has resigned. Mr.
And Vincent.
Prezioso, so he's not in red. But again, why is it egregious? Is because he hasn't attended meetings since 2019. So even though he's been marked excused and he has legitimate reasons for being excused, some of you know,
Yeah.
Still, 2019 is still a long time ago and more egregious than these other people. So remember, this was sent before the last full board meeting. So I have to update this.
Okay.
I mean, it's updated on our minutes. There will be anyway.
So if you can please send them an email prior to Wednesday along with the certified letters, that would be great.
Yeah, but what it is they have to come to the next executive board meeting next month to defend themselves or to send in a written
That's fine.
response. So that
That's
would be the 18th of March. So a month from today.
Okay.
Again, I did speak to Mr. Levitt about, we had at the last bylaws meeting last Tuesday, I did speak to him about amending our bylaws because our bylaws say it has to be certified mail. It can't be done. I can't notify him via email or anything else.
Yeah,
I mean, I can
we'll
notify
work
them.
on that. We'll work on it going forward, but for now, I guess, because to amend the bylaws, we need another month to pass and then another month to vote on.
No,
So,
we'll do this in the meantime, but
Yeah.
if everybody agrees, I mean, Mr. Levitt was playing devil's advocate. Oh, well, let's make it difficult for the staff. And I had to clearly tell him that the whole staff agrees on that the bylaws need to be amended because the post office is unreliable. Nobody wants to go there right now, COVID. I can go on and on.
Jeremy, I have a question.
Yeah.
I do quite a bit of visits to the post office wearing a mask and whatever. What's the big issue of going to the post office and doing certifieds?
Well, first of all, it also costs money. Email doesn't cost us money in terms of time. And
We have
again,
a budget. There's a budget.
well, which got cut twice this year and once last year, and who knows what's coming ahead because I mean, everybody's hoping the feds would bail us out, and they haven't completely bailed us out yet. I mean, as you know, with the homeless shelter, we're concerned about money here. I mean, even though it's a little thing, we got rid of the postage meter at the office. So we'll do it. I mean, I was prepared to do it Saturday if the printer worked, but it didn't.
But what I'm saying is, as Yahe just mentioned, if we wait to change bylaws and so
No,
on,
nobody's talking about waiting, but if we wait to even try to change the bylaws, my experience, it never happens. So what I'm saying is we'll do the certified letters. Nobody's denying that. I'm saying we need to act quicker on allowing other forms of communication to serve as recourse. As another board member said at the bylaws committee, it's the 21st century. Email is pretty common legally. So
And also, if you need to send, if you don't want to go to the post office or it's too crowded, the mailbox store located on Morris Park Avenue, 778 Morris Park Avenue. It's on the corner of Wallace. They do certified mail there. They do everything the post office does. I haven't been to the post office in years. I just go to this place.
well, I mean, I went to the post office recently for a personal package, but it's not about, look, that's just one reason. The biggest thing is that if I send I sent you an email to get into the meeting, right? Like most people nowadays, they actually check their email. Like I said, Vinny called me. He didn't need the certified letter to call me.
I understand, but there's other old timers and young timers, because I don't want to discriminate against anybody,
Well,
that
but
sometimes they get overwhelmed by emails and they don't even bother to check
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand, but as you know, Vinny is probably one of our oldest old timers. And when we had to do certified mail for Mr. Conforto, 2 years ago at this point, it didn't work. He told us to email him.
The post office is also unreliable.
I mean, the certified letter we sent to Mr. Conforto got returned to us. Got returned to sender because nobody picked it up.
Honestly, it doesn't matter with me. As I said, I'm
Yeah, we'll
biting
do
my.
it. But I think in the meantime, like I know some of you have a relationship with somebody like Mr. Predoso or some of these other people. If you're able to talk to them, like Mr. Joe and I did with Mr. Schensler, that would be easiest. Is if they just send us an email, put it in writing that they're resigning. Because that way, like I said, Mark did that last week. Now I don't even have to worry about certified mail.
I understand what you're trying to do, but like Melanie, for example, she wants to stay on. So, if we're going to send her a warning, she needs to get it via email and mail.
Well, that's what she said, but I haven't heard from her. What I'm saying is there's multiple, we should explore every avenue versus waiting for people to complain about us and do nothing. So, like Silvio, I know some of you have a relationship with Silvio too. Al does. I mean, if he wants to stay on, okay, great. Then we'll send him the certified thing and he'll come to, but if he doesn't, then maybe he could do us the favor and send us an email.
All right,
that he's
so
resigned.
we'll see. Contacting people, that's something separate. Like I said, I understand what you're trying to do, but since it's not in the bylaws for us to contact people and try to give them a heads up, I mean, these people should be doing the right thing to begin with if they want to stay on the
No,
board.
It's not about giving a heads up. It's about trying to make it quick and expedient like Mr. Schensler. He's gone. That's all. That's what this comes down to. This is right. A lot of this is about relationships.
Okay. All right. So, you'll send the emails and the certified letters, let's say by next week's meeting?
Yeah. Legally, I don't have to send an email, but the email will serve as the basis for the certified letter, and it will hopefully be quicker. Like I said, Vinny called me on Monday.
Okay. And all right, just okay.
I
We'll
just
see what
got to
happens.
follow up with him
email.
because I still didn't get anything yet. He was going to try to do it yesterday.
Yeah. But if we only sent a couple of emails, we don't even know if reaching out to them on the side would even help. Maybe when they get the emails, they'll call us on their own and say, "Hey, I don't want to be on board anymore," or give us something. So we'll wait until you send them the email, and then we'll see if we need to call them on the side or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Anyone else from anyone on the removal consideration of board members? All right. So what we got out of it is, they won't get the certified letters by next week's meeting. So we'll vote on it the following month. So we'll go with that, and we'll see what happens between now and then. All right.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
The purpose of this is to get rid of people that really don't want to participate, or to make it as an excuse to get rid of people and dwindle down the board. Which is it?
Just anyone that hasn't participated, really. Like we have people that haven't attended meetings this calendar year yet. So we met in September, October, November, December, and January. 5 months of meetings, or 4 months of meetings, when we discussed it last month, and they haven't attended any of them.
And I'm in agreement with people like that, but also I think in the proposal it says 3 consecutive meetings or something to that effect. People, and it says excused or unexcused absence. This looks more like you want to get rid of people regardless, so the board gets dwindled down. That's how it looks.
Well,
If they were excused, let's say they have 5 straight excused absences. And let's say we go to vote on it because that's what the bylaws say. We're not going to make any exceptions if the bylaws state it. But if they come on during the meeting where we're going to vote on removing them, and they come on and they say, hey, listen, September, I didn't have a laptop. October, I lost my internet. November, I tried to log in. I couldn't log in on time. December, I had a family emergency. And if you come and you tell us that, I think no one's going to vote to get you out of the board. It's just you. If you're not even going to be at the meeting that's going to be voted for you to be removed, it just says a lot about how much you care about being on the board. So I know it might look that way, but honestly, I think all of us have a heart and we have some sort of leeway. But for now, we just have to go with the bylaws and see where it takes us.
Again,
Remember, Frano,
yeah,
removal can include attendance. It doesn't have to. And like Yahe said, say Janice Walcott says, oh, but Jeremy, I sent you an email that for those 3 meetings that, my dog was sick and I had to attend to my dog. I'm being facetious, but maybe my husband or my wife or whatever was sick, or I had COVID personally. Oh yeah, Janice, my mistake. Or Al, yes. Oh, she told me, I'm sorry. There could have a legitimate excuse. And I don't see that here, but that's what Yahe's getting at. The opportunity is to just remind people that attendance is important. And the whole thing about 5 meetings missed, that was changed, 2019? I think that was amended because the idea was that if you miss a majority of the meetings throughout the year, maybe there's a problem. Maybe you shouldn't be on the board. Right, Yahe?
Yeah.
and again, to me, it doesn't matter either way. As I said, I already gave notice, so I requested not to be reappointed, but I'm playing the devil's advocate here.
No problem.
Good point.
All right.
All right, we'll go to the gallery session next. I think we have 2 members of the public. Let me double check.
I got 3.
I'm only showing. Oh, 3, yes. All right. Gallery session. Anyone from the public have anything to say?
I'm sorry, Yahweh? Sorry. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for the time. I'd just like to discuss on that table with the 9 members and their attendance record. I noticed that January was not updated. It would have been helpful if January's attendance record for those 9 members was entered in that table. So we could see whether they attended January's meeting, because I recall at the last month's meeting, I think the chair and other members stating that give these members a chance to attend January's meeting to see that they were willing to be part of the board meeting. So I'm not able to determine based on that table because there's no January attendance in that table. Second, I don't know why emails were not sent yet, because your bylaw says letters, but why not give emails? So you don't have to wait till the next month's meeting to determine if these members want to be part of this meeting. And also, I thought we would also consider their committee attendance, because a lot of times there's no quorum in these committee meetings. And I think last month's meeting, it was going to mention that the district manager is going to include a table that would show their committee meeting attendance. When I look at that chart and I see all red, it doesn't look like you're trying to get rid of members. It looks like people don't want to be members. So I don't know. It's not playing devil's advocate. It's just clear, like a child doesn't go to school. He doesn't want to go to school. So obviously these people don't want to be board members. So you're not trying to get rid of them. You're trying to get board members to attend. I think you have to, it's not having a heart, because people could have phoned in and they didn't have to use the internet. It's just, it just shows that this community board is not going to function as long as there's no accountability. And you're not punishing them. Obviously, they don't want to be board members. If they wanted to be board members, they would have made be present at least one out of those 5 meetings, at least one of them. So, and my second thing is, I'm very disturbed by the district manager's report that was sent out recently regarding limiting public engagement, because first, by law, you are mandated for public gallery sessions. It doesn't matter if it's done by virtual or by physical meetings. The fact that it's virtual doesn't mean that you should just, when we have a COVID-19 or pandemic, it's when we have to most adhere to our rights, to our freedoms. It's not when we have go through bad times like, oh, let's remove people's rights and freedoms. Just because unfortunately we have a pandemic doesn't mean we should eliminate the people's right to engage with the board members or engage their freedom of speech. So again, I saw that this manager saying that because it's virtual, that they're not mandated to have gallery session. First, that's not correct. You could follow up with Tom McCaney on that. And second, it just saddens me that you shouldn't be mandated to have public sessions. You should want public session, because in order for a community board to grow, it has to have public community support. It cannot just be 45, 49 members. So it's very saddening to me that it seems like the sentiment is that we're trying to do whatever we can to eliminate public engagement, public input. So hoping we could address that later on, but thank you.
Yeah, hey, you also have,
Thank you.
so you have 3 more members of the public, just so you're aware. Debbie Colick also is a member of the public because she's not on the executive board.
Anyone else would like to speak for during the gallery session? I see Hazel has joined us. Thank you for joining, Hazel. Anyone else for the gallery session? Okay, let me go back to the agenda. I think the next thing is old business. Do we have any old business? Any new business?
Yeah, I would like some feedback as to who's taking over as chair, because it seems like there's a reluctance. I've texted Al a couple of times, and even though, like I said, I'm leaving, I would like to know who's taking over, just as a courtesy to the next person. And actually, I would have preferred that that person chair my March meeting as a guide from me.
Are you talking about the Sergeant at Arms position? Or are you talking about transportation chair?
That's transportation chair. Sergeant at Arms is none of my business.
Okay. So that I would address that. I mean, I can talk to Al about it.
Well, I've been waiting for a response now for a while.
I know. I will talk to him.
I guess that has to go under new business.
I'll talk to him. I will reach out to him. Speak to him tomorrow.
But since you mentioned Sergeant at Arms, I know elections are in June and May and June, so it would be nice if somebody could be at least a temporary hold in my place for the March meeting, even for February. I wouldn't mind. Either way, I don't mind to give my spot to whoever wants it, so they get more at ease with it.
Okay, have you spoken to anyone, Frano, or suggested anyone who's willing to accept?
I haven't spoken, but I think Joe Menta seems to fit in very well.
Okay. Do you want to, we'll talk to Al, and we'll have Al ask Joe if he's willing to fill in.
And again, he's done it a couple of times, at least taken over in the middle of a meeting and or sometimes in the beginning. So I think until you guys have elections again, he'll be a good fill-in. Because I mandated my last meeting is March. So after that, technically I'm not on the board.
Okay. Thank you, Frano. You'll be missed.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Fran. I will definitely bring that up with Al.
Thank you.
Anything else for you, business?
Any other new business? Does anyone have any input, any board members, anything to say before we end the meeting? We have another meeting starting in 11 minutes. All right. I'll talk to, we don't need a motion to adjourn, right?
You are a board, remember. Executive board, not committee.
Okay, so motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Frano. Any opposition? Any abstentions? Anyone against? All right, we're all set. Thank you very much, everyone. Meeting ending 6:49 PM. We'll talk to everybody in a few minutes.
Thank you, guy.